What does that mean? Okay, this is your future self. What you can say? What can you say to her as a result of everything that you know? I developed my process because I was trying to do some work for myself, and I had this exercise where I was looking at my life in decades and trying to work out what happened when, and I realized I couldn't hold the information in my mind. I couldn't hold that I was 10 and this event happened, or I was 9 and this event happened, and so I thought I need to put this out on paper. So that's what started me off, actually thinking that, well, if you can plot your life on a page, then you can actually keep hold of your memories and actually place them on this line of your life. I've done research on memory, and I've realized that our memories are not reliable as a source of truth, because what we do is we tag an emotion because of what has happened at that very moment, and it's very instantaneous about what's happened then. We don't remember the context particularly well. We certainly don't realize what was happening in the rest of our lives. So this idea of actually having a process to look at my memories developed into a way of looking into my past and realizing that actually we could plot everything. And so I decided to expand it from 1 line to 5 lines. And there's a line for your relationships, and there's a line for your identity, there's a line for your career and your health, and then a line for just your ahas, the things that you've realized that you can actually, the skills you've got, the things that you've really appreciated in your life, maybe the patterns or the themes. And so you have your line in the very middle, which is your sort of line of your birthdays and when things are happening, but you spread these beautiful things out.
Going through this process has really helped me see things in a bigger picture instead of these short, huge moments in my life. I can see that they were there for a purpose, and they made me who I am. Very strong and independent and loving and creative.
What I've used is my teaching skills, and I've had 20 years as a child-centered teacher, where I've really realized that being practical and using your hands really helps you understand yourself better. It accesses different parts of your brain. You're not just speaking and thinking in literal ways, you're actually using, and in this case we use colors and stickers and things to actually just encourage you to relax, and by being tactile you can remember things that perhaps you wouldn't have remembered because you're using different pieces of your brain.
Before this process, I felt like I was a person who went through traumatic events, deaths throughout life, terrible relationships, a lot of struggling, but for what? I didn't know what that what was. Sitting back and looking at this life instead of living in each moment, but sitting back and looking at each one independently and what I got out of that situation, how that situation molded me and I became who I am, this beautiful person.
When I do my process with people, it's a safe space to really tell your story from your perspective. I don't think having therapy necessarily, where you are just repeating something, the sort of victim part of your story is very helpful compared to being able to put it into some sort of order and sequence, and then being able to see the context of each of the events that have happened.
The future Megan is no longer afraid of the future or worried. A lot of that worry has just gone away because I know everything that we experience on a day-to-day basis is for purpose, for a reason, and maybe not just for yourself, but other people around you. And the thought of experiencing something so emotionally captivating that could help another person there's no words to describe that.
What I find is I attract clients who've got quite big stories. There's been an awful lot that's happened, and things that they feel have been running their lives. So when I do this process, the SOW process or Spectrum Wisdom process with them, I feel we create a very intimate connection between themselves and their story. But at the same time, they get to see the bird's eye view and take themselves out of their story. And when they do that, they can actually look more objectively at what's really gone on. They get a true sense of freedom from their past story, and so they see the perfection of everything that's happened. They don't want to change anything. And what I found, which I just absolutely adore, is that without fail, they go, right, I'm ready to face the future. Whatever it brings, I'm bring it on, because they've recognized and understood the challenges they've had in their lives, and they see how it served them and what skills they've got. So it absolutely thrills me to give people that kind of empowerment and sense of self-worth.
I would recommend this process to anybody. Everybody could benefit from this look back on your life and not live as a victim, but as a strong person that doesn't have to suffer anymore.
When you don't feel that it's been okay, you are a victim of something, or someone did something to you, and it can run your life and ruin your life, because you don't get the connections with people that you would have had. You don't have the identity, sense of self and self-love necessarily, because you might be beating yourself up about something. So to free people from that sense of suffering that they have, and that life isn't good, and so they can be optimistic and have a more positive outlook about what the life holds for them, and actually consider new opportunities, consider new relationships, consider new career paths, just because they can put to bed everything that's happened before and have love and gratitude for things just as they are. That is fantastic.
I would like to thank Tanya for helping me through what I believed was the most embarrassing, disgusting parts of me, and helping me reevaluate myself to know that those hard times were needed. And I appreciate this process so much, to make that clear to me, and not just to excuse every moment as, everything happens for a reason, but to actually see those reasons. And I couldn't have done that without Tanya's help.
My name is Tanya Tuck, and I love to work with adults who've had some sort of trauma or events that have happened in their childhood or adolescence that still runs their lives. I love to set them free of their past so they can have the future that they deserve.